Black Friday is coming very soon, really just in a few days from the release of this video. I'm going to be going over all the items that I think about whether or not I need to purchase on Black Friday, really just so that I can get those really good deals and discounts that pop up on that Friday after Thanksgiving. I'm going to be going over everything that I just think about getting throughout the year, everything that I really just know I'm going to need throughout 2026, and I try to buy it at the end of 2025 so that I have it for 2026, and it also counts as it's great little business deductions at the end of the year. So we are going to go step by step through these different items, things that I have used in my business that have been very helpful to me and I think can be helpful to you as well. Stick around to the end of this video to see my newest fun tech purchase of 2025. I'm super excited to show this to you guys and really just tell you how I plan on implementing this particular piece of equipment into my business. So let's jump right on in. Number one is SSDs. Now I'm gonna show you two of my favorites here. So I really like, the first one I like is my Passport SSD. And again, I'm getting these off of Amazon when I purchased this. I really like this one. I normally try to get like one SSD at the end of every year to use for the next year. And I think currently I probably have like maybe 4 SSDs right now, but I also have the SanDisk 1 terabyte. I also like to get 1 terabyte SSDs when I do buy them. So you can see my Passport, let's see, so I don't know if it'll like focus, maybe it'll focus. That's my Passport SSD. And then we have the SanDisk SSD like that. Hopefully it's focusing, I don't know. And so these are the SSDs I really like to use within my business. And then I think I have one more. And I actually like to recommend that you get a case for your SSDs. And I'm gonna link all these things down below, obviously, so you can go find them for yourself. So this is like a really nice case that I have for my SSDs. And this case, you can actually fit 2 SSDs in here. And here, I'll show you. You can fit 2 like this. So you can fit like 2 SSDs, and it has a little separator here, which is cool. And then I also have in here, the G Drive SSD, which honestly is definitely the most expensive, but the most powerful and best SSD that there is out there. I forget exactly how much this SSD costs, the G Drive, but it is so powerful and so amazing. Again, these are all 1 terabytes. I pretty much always buy my SSDs in 1 terabyte. Maybe there's been one time where I bought a 500 terabyte, but I think you get a better bang for your buck when you just buy the 1 terabyte when you go ahead and do that. So I would recommend, the G Drive, the SanDisk, or the My Passport SSD, and I'll link all those below. And then also this case that is really helpful, especially just as you're like traveling around, wanting to make sure that your photos and videos are safe. Definitely when you're traveling, make sure that you have a backup on SSD. And so that's what I would recommend doing. And the case just helps to further protect them as you are traveling with them. Number 2 is a hard drive. You really need a hard drive for an additional backup. So the ones I like to use are actually, this might be controversial, I actually like to use Seagate, just like these ones right here. They work just fine, and because they're backup, and I actually this is a 5 terabyte one, which is crazy, but I actually get a new hard drive at the end of every year, like, around Black Friday. That way I have it for the next year, and I have an additional backup in which I can put my weddings and family sessions on. I back up my wedding and family sessions to like my SSD, and then also my 5 terabyte hard drive. And then I also keep my wedding photos and family photos on my SD cards before I delete them off the SD cards. That's really important to me to have, honestly, at least 3 to 4 backups until I actually deliver the final gallery to my clients. That's just super important process for me. That way I know that my images are going to be protected until I do deliver it to my clients. So that is my hard drive that I like to use. You can also get like a G Drive hard drive, but that is like definitely way more expensive. I would say they probably are more reliable. Thankfully, I've never actually had a hard drive fail, which is kind of impressive, to be honest. Seagate ones are really good. Again, I like the 5 terabyte ones, and I'll link that below. So I would definitely get that. Another really important thing to get for the next year on Black Friday is SD cards, and as well as an SD card case. So I'm gonna show you what I have here. So this is the case that I like to store my SD cards in. So it opens up really nice. And then you can just see it has like all the SD cards in there, which is so nice, just have them in there. And as you can see in here, I pretty much mainly have SanDisk SD cards. So I really like the 256 SD cards as well as the 128 SanDisk SD cards. Sometimes I have like a 64 or 32 gigabyte. You see a few of those in there. And actually, I have way more SD cards in my cameras right now because I have several cameras, and the one I'm recording on right now, I'm pretty sure there's two 256 gigabyte SD cards in there. So at the end of the year, I'm always like, okay, like let's go see if there's any deals on SD cards on Amazon. And so I'm gonna go and grab a few of those just so that I have new, fresh SD cards for the next wedding and family photography season. So definitely go grab some of those and check out this case, which I'll link below. It's like a really nice case just to like carry around with you and just keep them safe inside. All right, the next one is not really entirely like a tool or like a physical thing, but it's actually just thinking about in my photography business, do I need to update my website? So about 2 years ago, I actually chose to totally update my website and change it. I actually switched from Squarespace to Showit website designer, and I actually bought a template through Showit, and I have loved Showit. It is just up-leveled my website, made it look so much better. I started with the template originally just to like help me build things, and then I definitely adapted it and changed it quite a lot, honestly. But it's been a really wonderful place to have a website, and it's really great for SEO. If you are looking for a place to, like a new website hoster, really, then I would highly recommend Showit. It is just so amazing. If you want to go ahead and grab my discount code in the description of this video, I'm pretty sure you get your first month free with Showit when you go ahead and use my code. I love using them. It is how I book my wedding photography and family photography clients. It's just a beautiful aesthetic site to ultimately showcase your best work. So I highly recommend Showit, and just really thinking about like, do I need to do a website revamp? And Showit is a great resource and a great website hosting platform to do that on. So that is definitely something you should consider at the end of 2025 as you're shopping around. Showit actually has a lot of Black Friday template, like website template deals going on, and that's actually when I bought my template for Showit. I literally think it was either on Black Friday, or I think it was, I remember I was actually in Virginia at my sister's house, and yeah, I bought the template for the new website that I was going to build on Showit, and yeah, and I got like probably like $250 off like the template. Maybe it was like originally $700 something dollars, maybe I got for like 500 or something like that. So pretty good deal. So I'd highly recommend definitely check out Showit website templates on there, and feel free to grab my code in the description if you want to get some free stuff. So that is just something I'd recommend doing for the new year. Okay, we're gonna talk about that fun thing. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, should I use it? Should I not use it? What do I do? We are gonna talk about AI photo editing. So at the beginning of 2025, I was honestly like not really into AI photo editing yet. And then I had Tyler, and Tyler's now almost 10 months old. And throughout this year, I was just like, editing takes so long, and with the baby, everything takes longer. And I just got to the point where I was like, I have a certain style of editing, so I can train AI to edit in that same style, and it's still going to be very accurate as to my work. So I did not have a problem starting to use AI editing for my work, and that way I can get my work done faster. It's been a good experience for my clients because my galleries still look completely consistent with how they were before. You wouldn't even know the photo. You don't know the difference. And so I actually started using Aftershoot AI for photo culling and editing because I tested it out a few times, and I've been training it for a while. It definitely takes a little bit of time to train, but it is so worth it. I have been able to probably cut down my editing time by at least half, and I plan on getting it cut down again in half. Going into 2026, I plan on continuing to train my Aftershoot AI editing profile to be more accurate to my style, so that I don't have to do quite as many tweaks in Lightroom as I currently have to do. So that is kind of like one of my goals going forward, is to really just like get Aftershoot editing to really just be able to edit full galleries from start to finish for me. I definitely like check everything. Like I don't just upload it and be like, I also will, so I'll use the AI culling in Aftershoot. It's actually pretty cool. I'm actually thinking about doing a video on AI culling and editing for Aftershoot, because just to show you how it works if you want to try it out. I highly recommend it. It's been honestly pretty accurate in editing, and I think that I just need to train it a bit more to be completely accurate to my style. And again, for AI culling, what I normally do is I let it do the cull, and then I go through and check everything. My eyes are on every single image all the time. I'm always double checking images. What AI photo editing is doing is it's just kind of doing like a base edit on everything, and then I just go through and I just tweak anything that needs tweaking on any photos. But it has sped up my editing process so much, and I love it. So I highly recommend Aftershoot. you can go grab my discount code for Aftershoot down in the description so that you can try it out in your own photo editing and photography business. The next thing I'd recommend looking into getting on Black Friday is a new camera body. If you have been looking to purchase a new camera body, Black Friday is a great day to do this because there are normally deals like all over the place. I'm thinking about whether or not I want to purchase a second R6 Mark II, the Canon R6 Mark II, or maybe the Canon R5. Those would be the two camera bodies that I'm recommending. There's also the Canon R5 Mark II, which I still need to do more research about, and so I'm hoping that in 2026 I can have a little more educational content on this channel, really just comparing maybe like the Canon R5 and the Canon R5 Mark II, the differences, because those are kind of the camera bodies that are coming more into like what photographers are using a lot more these days. The Canon 5D Mark IV, it's still in use, but it's one of those older camera bodies. And so the new ones are obviously the R6 Mark II, the R5 and the R5 Mark II, and then also there's the R3, which is also like new as in the past 2 years, I believe. So, but that one also is like, what's that, like 5K? I could be totally wrong. But that one's definitely up there in price, the R3. So I'm not quite to the R3. It's kind of a little too big and fancy for what I need for my business. I don't need those files to be that massive, just might be a little too massive. Anyway, so definitely just look into any camera deals that you want to get on Black Friday to see if you want to upgrade your camera body or you want to buy an additional camera body. That is something that I like to think about. Definitely look into coming up soon. All right, and then a new camera lens. So if you want any new camera lenses, definitely looking into any deals that you can find on camera lenses for really whatever like brand of camera you are finding. But this is a really great time just to go ahead and grab that new wide shot lens or portrait lens or zoom lens that you've been wanting in your business. And if you want to know anything about any of these lenses, specifically Canon lenses, I do a lot with prime lenses. I have videos on this channel about the Canon EF 85mm aperture 1.2, the Canon EF 50mm aperture of 1.2, as well as the Canon EF 35mm aperture of 1.4. And then I also have a video on the Canon RF lens, the 28-70mm aperture 2. That's like a new honest review video that came out. If you are interested in any of those lenses, feel free to go ahead and just look around this channel and see if you can find and just see if any of these videos help you decide if you want to invest in any of these lenses on Black Friday. All right, the next one is new camera bag. This year I decided to invest in this big new camera bag. It's so big, oh my goodness. Anyways, but it has been really wonderful. I'll link it below, that way you can see like pictures and everything, where I got it from, everything like that. My black camera bag was just getting old and really decrepit and just wasn't working so good anymore. So I got this because I was like, I need to better protect my cameras and just make sure that they stay safe. So I highly recommend looking into if you want to get a new camera bag for your just to protect your gear, really. That's really the important part about it. So that is that one. All right, the next one is consider whether or not you want to get a new camera strap within your photography business this year. This one is one of those ones, it's like you put it over your shoulder, both of your shoulders, and then you can have two camera bodies with you photographing at all times on a wedding day or family sessions or really whatever you're doing. It doesn't matter like what type of your photography you're doing. You know, if you need two camera bodies, this is a great way to have two camera bodies and just make sure that they're safe and fully attached to you. And so Daniel actually got this for me. I'll link this down below. This is a really great camera strap that I have loved using for probably the past 2 years. Yeah, 2 years, I believe. So definitely look into getting that if you definitely need to add that to your equipment that you want to get. If you are a photographer or videographer and you are still shooting on like a Canon 5D Mark IV, basically a non-mirrorless camera body, and so you have all the EF mount lenses, but you really want to shoot on a mirrorless camera body because they really just are like so amazing, great in low light, they're just so sharp, so amazing, and the autofocus capabilities are so cool on the mirrorless camera body. So if you want to make the switch to a mirrorless camera body, you can actually get an RF to EF mount adapter for your new mirrorless camera body, so that you can use your EF mount lenses on your RF new camera body. I do this for my wedding photography still until probably, hopefully in 2026, I can start upgrading to the RF lenses. That's kind of my hope. But you can definitely use that adapter. And I can't show you the adapter right now because it's actually on my Canon R6 Mark II right now to connect my 50mm lens, the EF lens, to the RF camera body. So I can't actually show you the adapter, but I can link it below and you can see it for yourself. But if you want to be able to shoot and use mirrorless camera bodies, but still use EF mount lenses, you can totally do that. And I recommend doing that to transition to mirrorless camera bodies, and eventually you can upgrade to the RF mount lens. All right, another thing that I want to add to my arsenal, that sounds really weird, add to my equipment stash. I don't know what to call it, add to just my equipment, is I want to get a new and better tripod. So maybe I'll link below a few that I'm looking into getting, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm still researching what tripods I want to get on Black Friday. I'm probably gonna get like maybe like 1 or 2 more tripods. Right now I have 3 tripods technically, but they're all really just kind of little and not the best tripods. They work for YouTube and like some wedding filming, whatever we're doing, but I'd like to get at least 1 more like heavy duty tripod, and maybe just one that's maybe not quite as heavy duty, but is a good tripod. So I'd recommend that if you are looking for a new tripod. Keep a lookout for those good Black Friday deals for that. All right, another thing that's always really good to think about on Black Friday is whether or not you need to get some new batteries for your cameras. So I use 2 different batteries for my cameras, and one of them is I just use the Lion battery pack, and it's kind of like the off-brand. Honestly, I know I get hate for this online because people are like, you buy such expensive cameras, but then you use the cheapo batteries for your cameras. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I do that. So I need to eventually upgrade to like only Canon batteries. But for some reason, I just like haven't done it yet. I don't know. But the thing I have found is that you really do need, so I have a Canon battery in my R6 Mark II right now, which again, it's being used to film, so that's why I can't show you the Canon battery right now. I definitely recommend having a Canon battery in your R6 Mark II. There's something about like the mirrorless camera bodies, like this specific camera body I have, the R6 Mark II, it works better with the Canon battery brand, basically. And so, especially like on wedding days and just times when you don't want your camera shut off, like I found that randomly when I'm using the off-brand battery, which is right here, randomly my camera, especially the 5D Mark IV, it will like randomly shut off, and then I have to like change the battery or like return it on. It's like weird. Off-brand batteries can act weird, so you kind of do have to be careful with that. Although I can make it work, but sometimes it can be like a little iffy and you kind of just have to know what to do. If the camera body suddenly turns off, then you have to suddenly, change out the battery, put a new one in, and then you can turn it on again. For the R6 Mark II, definitely recommend having only Canon batteries. So I'll link below the batteries that I use. That way you can grab them if you want. Also, you can consider maybe getting a battery charger if you only have one. I'll just link everything down below. That way you can like see everything that I use in my business. Another thing that you could consider getting this Black Friday is additional lighting equipment. So if you do film or like whatever you're doing, there could be so many different types of lighting equipment that you could get as a photographer. If you are a studio photographer, there might be additional studio lighting that you might need to get. If you are a YouTuber, maybe you want to get a better lighting setup. I'm going to be honest right now, I use my windows in my living room for my light. I kind of lazy, not lazy. I guess I'm not lazy. I shouldn't be lazy. I don't always take the time to set up a full lighting setup just because I haven't found it necessary, because the lights I have from the windows, I have like a very bright open living room here, and so it seems to work just fine. But I do have lighting equipment that we use for other things that we do, just like a 3-point basic lighting setup, and I'll link it down below. I believe it's a newer brand lighting kit, so I will put that down below, and it's great. I love it. Such good quality, amazing. Highly recommend that. So if you're looking into any lighting equipment for your business or whatever you need, I recommend that kit that I have below. Okay, and now the fun part that we've all been waiting for. My newest fun piece of technology that I've added to my equipment pile this year is I decided to invest in some smart glasses. Yes, I got smart glasses, and you're like, why do you have smart glasses? Okay, we're gonna unbox this for you real quick. So smart glasses. I like these smart glasses because I could put them on my face. I can video behind the scenes using these glasses. So you can turn it on. You can basically just like film behind the scenes of like when you're at sessions, weddings, whatever you're doing. And it just films like what you see, which is so cool. So I got that just to film some behind the scenes, which I'm actually thinking about on this channel. I'm actually thinking about having a membership in which I show the behind the scenes of my weddings and sessions. So if that's something that you guys might be interested in, go ahead and comment below. Would you be interested in having a membership just to like see the behind the scenes of my sessions and weddings? This is something I'm thinking about starting in 2026. 6. I filmed a few things already on these glasses, but I just haven't had time to like put it all together into a membership for you guys. This is something that I am really just excited to start doing, just to like showcase, you know, how these glasses can be used, as well as just, you know, provide some more education for you guys on just really how I run my sessions and how, you know, how wedding days go when Daniel and I are photographing them. Those are my fun AI smart glasses, and I really, really like them. It comes with a charger, so you have to charge them. That's cool. It also came with like a whole instruction manual, so to learn how to use it, and then a little case that the glasses can go in. You can also take behind the scenes photos on these glasses, but I find it most helpful just behind the scenes video. There's that. So eventually I'll be doing a review on these glasses, show you kind of how they work. Once I use it more, just tell you how I like it. That way, if you want to get these, you can. There are other smart glasses out there. I'll link these down below, the ones I got. But it's been fun to use so far, and I'm still learning it. So hopefully next year, there'll probably be a review video coming out on, you know, what I really think about these glasses and just smart glasses in general. So feel free to just stay tuned to see more of those fun videos that will be coming out in the new year. I'm excited to just kind of like see all the new things I learn about and can share with you guys in the new year. So those are my smart glasses. Woo! I think that's right, my smart glasses, yes. If you're planning on purchasing the Canon R6 Mark II as your next camera body, go ahead and click this next video about mastering the Canon R6 Mark II in 6 easy steps.